Welcome, everybody, to episode 44. We made it to episode 44. I'm one half of the dynamic duo of Lights, Camera, Pop, Richie, no relation to Bruce Wayne. And hope everybody is having a good week out there in podcast land. And it's been pretty good with me. Work's been great. And Mike is on his way back from slinging those funny books up in Ohio. He did a show up that way, and he's going to be popping in here in a little bit. So, but I'm going to get started because this was a week that I have been really looking forward to having these guests on. So today I'm truly excited to welcome I say a dynamic duo between Mike and I, but this is such a dynamic, creative duo that's going to be on the show. From their work in animation, storytelling, to creating beloved, offbeat, and unforgettable characters, their contributions have left lasting mark on fans of all ages. And we're going to dive into their careers, their creative process, and some of the iconic projects that they brought to life. So please welcome Doug and Candie Langdale. Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you guys doing? Woo!
All
I don't have
right.
like an
Thank you for
audience.
having us.
Thank you. Yeah.
I appreciate you guys coming on. So honestly, like Doug, you have always kind of been like somebody that I've kind of seen your name in credits for a while because I'm still to this day a huge Darkwing Duck fan.
Mhm.
And I had seen your name pop up in the credits of several episodes of Darkwing. Um, to like Aladdin, Return of Jafar, things like that. And of course, as my kids were growing up, we were Disney kids, a Disney family, I should say, and they were Disney kids. And we had always watched things like Recess, Doug. It was in that era, Pepper Ann. And there was a show that got my attention from the writing was amazing. It had me laughing hysterically every episode. And to this day, I still say things like when I'm bringing up laundry, like, who wants their jammies? A warm and fuzzy from the dryer. And I still say little things like that from The Weekenders. It is like such one of my favorite of all time animated series. And it even goes as far as like even Dave the Barbarian. And that the animation in that just it gives me such a classic feel of uh like Rocky and Bullwinkle, like the old animation style brought with more modern day flair. Now, did you have any input on the creativeness of the design of the characters?
Oh yeah. I mean, and Rocky and Bullwinkle was definitely what we were going for because we knew our budget was going to be kind of low. So we, oh my God, I'm sounding like I'm from Pittsburgh. I've been listening. Our budget was kind of low. Um, and so we knew, we had to do something that was going to work with that budget. And the classic low budget but still works TV cartoon is Rocky and Bullwinkle. And at the beginning we had to actually like we would have to give the two studios overseas notes, basically saying do less, like don't animate stuff so much, like save your pencil mileage for when you really need it. So we like toned everything down and pulled back on sort of the extraneous background movements, and so we were able to get what we wanted. But yeah, I was I was deeply, perhaps annoyingly involved in that whole design development process. I actually did designs of the characters at the beginning myself when I was developing the show that I desperately wanted no one to ever see because they weren't very good.
You're very humble about your art, though. You're an excellent artist.
Yeah, but I mean they weren't the look that I wanted for the show.
I
But
see.
but thank you. But anyway, it didn't matter because they went and showed them to the designer, and I was like, "Why did you do that?"
That in with the Weekenders, it, for me, like some of the things that really stood out with that series was the fact that it wasn't typical in this aspect that every show, every episode characters would wear the same clothes. They would say have the same colors. This one here specifically, each episode they were wearing something different. It was very adult written, and when I say it like that, I mean like it felt very real.
Yeah.
And it didn't have a lot of whimsical. I mean, there of course there was a lot of really fun things that they had done in there, but it was very much grounded for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a weird show to do because when I pitched it, I had this pitch meeting at Disney and I pitched them like three or four shows that I'd done a whole bunch of work figuring out. And like I remember one of them was about a lost like scout troop. It was basically Gilligan's Island, but it's a scout troop and they're in the woods.
That sounds fun.
It was kind of fun. But I had a bunch of stuff like that, and I pitched all these things, and they were like, no, what else you got? And I had a piece of paper that just said kids on the weekend and nothing else. So I just started talking about stuff that I did on the weekend, and they were like, well, let's make that show. And I was like, I don't know what show you're talking about. I was just telling you things I used to do. So we made that show, and it started off from a place of just talking about actual events from my youth. So I think it wound up having a more grounded tone than a lot of the more weird ass stuff I've done.
And growing up next to Balboa Park and
Yeah.
the San Diego Zoo, I mean, you did have kind of a gifted childhood
It,
there.
it was, yeah. I mean, there was a lot of stuff there, and it was like, a tourist area. So
Hmm.
you'd get exposed to different kinds of people. So that was kind of
Sure.
cool. I mean, when I was a kid, I always thought San Diego was sort of a boring town, and it is in the sense that it's pretty low key. But there's a ton of
Mhm.
stuff to do there, and I don't think I realized when I was a kid like how lucky I was that I was right in the middle of all that.
Now, was there anything like in your area where there was just one specific pizza shop or a diner or restaurant that would close one week and then open another with a completely different theme?
No, it was weird because when I was in actually this was high school, so I was a little bit older than the kids in the show. But when I was in high school, we used to hang out at this place called Sydney's Coffee Shop, uh, and despite the name, it was more of a tea house.
Hmm.
And so I wanted the kids to hang out at a tea place and be drinking tea all the time. And the executives were like, "What? Like, no, kids like pizza. Haven't you seen Ninja Turtles?" And I was like, "Is pizza the only thing?" And they're like, "It's going to be pizza." And I was like, "All right." And then I was like, "Okay, well, I have to come up with like some sort of hook or gimmick for the pizza place." And I came up with like eight, and I couldn't decide, and no one else could decide, so we just did all of them.
See, nowadays I think it would be like a boba house or something.
Right.
So, just going back to the beginning, how did you get started in the business? How did like what led you into this crazy world?
It's weird because I mean I met Kevin Hops, who's an animation writer and producer, who's awesome, um, doing improv in the very late '80s in like '89, and at some point, we had been doing improv together for a while, and he was like, and I told him that I wrote plays, and he was like, "Do you want to try writing animation?" And it was like all of this stuff that had come before in my life sort of like suited itself to that moment because I had been a huge animation fan as a kid, and then as a teenager, I started going to like animation festivals and stuff, and I did some animation, and I like took up like a summer school course and did a short and did stuff at home with just a Super 8 camera. So, and then also I was doing improv, which weirdly used to be kind of a breeding ground for animation writers. Like a lot of people in animation came out of improv. So it all kind of led up to that moment. And I was like, yeah, I'll give it a
And
try.
didn't Tad Stones come see you perform
Yes.
before you were
Oh
officially
wow.
invited?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tad came to one of the shows because of Kevin, because Kevin
Hmm.
was working on working with him developing Darkwing, or at least working at Disney at the time. So yeah, Tad came to a show and he was like, "Bring that guy in." And I remember I came into the meeting and he started doing one of my bits from the improv show,
Hmm.
and I did not remember the bit.
Oh no.
So I just walk in and he's going, "I'm Ironhead McGillicuddy," and I was like, "What the hell is happening?" And he was like, "You know that thing you did in the improv show?" And I was like, "Dude, that stuff does not stick in my mind." But he literally was like coming like he was going to ram me with his head. And I was like, "I don't understand Disney like I thought I did."
So was you wanting to be more into the animation side, the writing side?
It was weird because I had done a little bit of storyboarding and I had just submitted some sample stuff for a job doing storyboards on The Simpsons, which I didn't get.
Oh,
But I kind of had to submit because I lived literally 1 block away from where they made The Simpsons at the time.
well,
Uh,
so that's kind of a no-brainer there, yeah.
yeah, so I mean, I literally like walked across the street and handed them these storyboards, and I hadn't done animation storyboards, so I think the stuff that I gave them was like way wrong. Uh, I had done stuff for commercials that was more like for presentation purposes, like they would show it to the clients.
Oh, okay.
But, but anyway, so I didn't really know what I was doing at that point. I was still sort of trying to be an actor, but that wasn't really going anywhere. So I was waiting tables because that's what you do, and really anything seemed like a step up from that. So,
And it was.
and it was.
So was there like what is? I'm trying to think of how I want to, where I want to go with this. But like, so if somebody were to, or well, let me back this up. Was there a specific moment that, or an opportunity that really kind of like, of course, you said about Tad coming to the improv and then bringing you in and everything like that. Was that the specific moment that the opportunity really happened and the door opened up for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think meeting Kevin and having Tad come to the show was I mean, that was my lucky break, I guess. But also, two more lucky things happened almost immediately. One was I had been reading the complete Sherlock Holmes stories, so I pitched a story to Tad with a villain called Moriarty, based on Moriarty from those stories.
Hmm.
And he really liked that idea, and he was like, "Well, I want to write that one myself, but because I want to take that idea from you, I'm going to give you this other one that we don't know what to do with, and you'll write that script." So he immediately had a script for me, mostly just because I mean, I don't even know how much he used from what I pitched him. He just really liked Moriarty as a character. So he started working on that. I had a script to do right away, which was unusual. So I wrote a script, and then when I turned that script in, it was at a time when they needed to hire like 20 writers in a hurry, because they were staffing up massively for multiple shows at Disney. It was like this huge expansion. So I kind of got sucked in through that expansion. And I remember a few years later, almost everyone who got hired when I got hired was gone. Like
Oh
I
wow.
just, I got lucky, and then I was able to, I guess, prove myself to them. But uh, but
So,
yeah, it was really good. It was good timing and meeting the right people, and
and
then and then being ready to do the job.
of course,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. So with the craft and a process like that, so what I've seen like looking at Aladdin, Return of Jafar,
Mm.
for example, and it has you credited as story by, and then I see things like written by. What's really the differences between story by and written by as a credit?
I mean, this all varies because, well, as Candy can tell you, we've done producing and story editing stuff where sometimes you give notes on one person's script and then the next person's script maybe you completely rewrite. So,
Yeah.
so the actual credit that shows up on screen is not always perfectly aligned with what you did.
Hmm.
But typically, if it's story by, you were there for all the story development meetings and giving notes and stuff like that, but someone else actually, wrote the dialogue and wrote the script.
Oh, Okay.
But if you're a story editor, you might be rewriting that stuff to a significant degree. It just really depends on. It doesn't even depend on how good the writers are. It just sort of depends on the needs of that particular episode. And sometimes you get something and you're like, "This is a good script, but it's not what we need." So
Right.
you have to fix it.
Right. That makes sense. So, like, together, like, how did how is it when you guys came together and said, you know what, we're like the perfect team, like we're like, how was it when you first started working together?
Well, I mean, Candy you've been writing basically your whole life.
Yes, as a
Um,
hobby.
yeah.
I grew up in a family where creative jobs were not encouraged. So,
I know the feeling.
uh, um, so it was something I always did, but uh, hello.
Okay, so
Hello.
just as
We've
a
been
real
joined.
quick, we'll let you know this is Mike. My co-host is now on. This is Doug and Candy.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, sipping my coffee.
From
Sorry I'm so late. I literally just came 3 states over.
Ah,
oh,
Oh man, it's been a heck of a day.
I
well,
imagine.
we are
Well,
glad you're here now.
yes.
So,
You just you drove from the state my dad is from to the state my mom is from, so that's a long
Ah, connections.
way.
connections, right? But
I
yeah,
was I was doing a comic book show out there, and then I
Yeah.
just came in, and I love your X hat, your X shirt too. I mean,
Oh,
like
I,
such a
thank
killer
you.
band.
well,
Yeah,
Adult Books is still my favorite EP of all time.
yeah.
and we were gonna have this show a couple weeks ago,
Hmm.
and then Mike, you had a show because you went to go see Circle Jerks,
Yeah, with the two circle
and
jerks at night.
and Doug, you were gonna go see John Doe from the X.
Yeah, we were supposed to see John Doe from X, and apparently I thought I had bought a pair of tickets, and I had bought one ticket.
And then the tickets were sold out.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So, and we were pretty excited because the show was so cheap.
Yeah.
But
But we've
Oh,
seen John Doe before. We've
yeah,
seen X. We've met John Doe. He's so nice.
yeah,
So it was okay. We'll see him next time.
yeah.
That's I love that. I love that. It's a great kind
ah,
of uh, attitude to have towards it. But yeah, I was just asking how you guys uh, come to form the powerhouse creative team that you guys are.
Well, I was butting in, contributing to Doug's stories, and we talked about his work a lot. And he had read my hobby writing and was like, "You're actually a good writer." So he got permission from uh, Alan Burnett at Warner Brothers to allow me to contribute to a Scooby Doo direct to DVD he was doing. I was not allowed to do any of the actual writing, but I was that's why it says story by.
Hmm.
I was allowed to come up with the story with Doug. So
Also, they were not technically able to physically restrain you from doing some of the writing. So,
I think we're pretty up and up people. I don't think I actually did any of the writing on
I
that.
you
Yeah.
you definitely give notes
Yeah.
on it.
So
Yeah,
I did not physically type
I
on it
think you
though.
did not type. Yeah.
So we did a few Scooby Doo's like that, and then um, I did some Puss in Boots for Doug, and then started doing things for other people. But we like working together and hanging out together.
Uh,
That's it's so cool. And you can tell that it's just like hanging out with your best friend too. Just kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
just
exactly.
and that's where all the creative ideas start to flow
Mhm.
when you're just bouncing back and forth off of one another. When it comes to things like, okay, so you have your IPs, so to speak, that you created. Now, what are the differences between that and then playing in somebody else's toy box? So if
Hmm.
you're going into like write Scooby Doo, Like, did you have certain parameters, certain guidelines that you had to stick within for the characters themselves?
I mean, Scooby Doo has to be Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
And Doug had already written a few Scooby Doos when I met him, and he said, "Oh, I thought I was going to go in and like fix Scooby Doo, but then if you fix the problems with it, then it's not Scooby Doo anymore."
It is
So,
literally, it's that joke from the short-lived sitcom Andy Richter Controls the
mhm.
Universe, where someone says, "Didn't they clean this manure?" And someone else says, "It's manure. If you cleaned it, it wouldn't exist." If you fix the problems with Scooby Doo, it's just not Scooby Doo.
Yeah, I mean, that's our favorite things are not perfect, are
Yeah,
they?
no,
So,
they are not.
I love that.
um, yeah,
So,
Perfection is in the imperfection, basically.
yeah,
exactly.
and I mean, there are certain things they do in Scooby Doo cartoons that either make no sense at all or are clearly abuse.
Hmm.
It's like, why do you keep bringing this terrified man and his terrified dog along on ghost hunts? Why are you doing this to them?
Yeah. Don't
Uh,
start pulling the
yeah,
thread.
but you can't change that. Like those are the things that you love about
Hmm.
Scooby Doo.
Um, but to answer your question, like it's fun. I mean, it's we like creating our own IP, but it's fun playing in other people's world too.
Yeah.
It's fun to work with Jorge.
Hmm.
Um, he's a very creative and positive person.
Yeah.
So um, it's you just sort of you you can still put a piece of yourself in, but it's like, okay, I'm what is their goal and how can I help them reach their goal?
Yeah.
It's
Right.
just a different way of thinking.
And you find your connection, your personal connection to the material, and then it sort of becomes.
Hmm.
It's just like everyone who's a fan of something feels a degree of ownership. Uh,
Yes.
Right.
so you kind of have to make that sort of connection. So if
Hmm.
you're developing, I mean, that when we did Tale Dark and Grim, I think the very first meeting I said something like, "This makes me think about Bruno Betelheim's work, who was a psychologist who wrote books about fairy tales." And like everyone was like, "Yeah, no, that's exactly what the author was working from. Like that's totally what was behind it." So we had this personal connection. Like his inspiration for the material was something I was familiar with and had thought about, and so like we connected very early on. And then you sort of feel like you sort of feel like it's your IP, even though it's in this case Adam's
Hmm.
IP.
Now, when you guys do write, do you go from ideas based off of structure, or are you guys like, this might be insane, so let's try
Um,
it?
we do a little of both.
Yeah, there's not any one answer to that.
Yeah.
It's just like sometimes ideas are like you find a nickel on the floor and one side of it is scratched, and it's like, that makes me think of a giant space story.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like some elaborate life lesson that you learned that gets distilled
Hmm.
down into a little thing about a squirrel. Like you just never know.
Right.
You have to be open
Yeah.
to it at all, not, oh, it only comes this way. You just have to be open to however it decides to come in.
Yeah.
Right. Have you guys ever had any really weird notes or anything bizarre come across on your scripts?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm trying to think, what are some of the I can remember some of the old time classics.
Well, one of your notes led to me,
Oh, right. Yeah.
so
That's a good
that was a
point.
good one. But
Um,
then sometimes they're just like, you know, what's a coffee mug? And it's
yeah.
like, I'm sorry, what? It's like they're not familiar with everyday objects.
I was working on a thing that had cats in it, and at some point realized that I was getting weird notes because the executive didn't know what a tabby was.
Oh,
Oh.
And he was confused every time I used the word tabby. He was like, is that slang for a judge?
What?
So So, and it's stuff like that. It's like the guy wasn't stupid. It just like he
Right.
had a gap. He just
Yeah.
didn't know this type of cat. So sometimes you get weird notes like that, and sometimes, well, the note that led to you was they were doing focus testing on the original Dave the Barbarian pilot, which did not have Princess Candy in it. And they presented it to a bunch of little girls. And at the end, they said, "Do you think that this would be better with the princess in it?" And there's no little girl in the United States, at least, who's going to say no to that. So they were
Right.
all like, "Yes, add a princess." So I was like, I guess I got to add a princess. And then it wound up being, like, in some ways, my favorite character in the show. But I named her Candy. And then Candy here.
As an adult, I watched Dave the Barbarian. I never stopped watching animation. Um, and then I had to be home at 5 o'clock every Sunday afternoon to catch the new episode. And one of the exciting things is when you grow up as a kid with a weird name and you can never find your name on a pencil or a little license plate or whatever. So you get really excited when you see someone who has the same name as you.
Absolutely.
So that it was like, this is the craziest show. So I watched it every week, and then um what was it, like 7 or 8 years later, I'm on a blind internet date with this writer. We knew nothing about each other, and then partway through the conversation, I'm like, wait a minute, you're the Dave the Barbarian guy. So if he hadn't added Candy um to the show, there wouldn't have been that major connection there.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing. It's literally like the stars aligned and it was just like perfect and everything
yeah,
just was meant to be the way it was.
Serendipity.
Serendipity, exactly. Um that's so cool. So when forward to working on Maya and the Three. Again, congratulations on the Emmys for outstanding writing on that because it looks absolutely phenomenal. What was some of the most fun about bringing that world to life?
I mean, it was fun to not have to. Um, we didn't really have to pull any punches on the storytelling in that. Like,
yeah, that was when Netflix first started producing their own animation, and they were like, "Go nuts!" So they were really letting us get away with a lot of stuff we wouldn't have been able to
yeah, I mean, there was
before
some
or after.
there was some really sad, really tragic stuff that
Hmm.
happened. Like sometimes the first couple of minutes of an early episode would just have like the most tragic scene you've ever seen. Uh, and a lot of studios would be scared off by that. But
Hmm.
but I think Netflix realized they were trying to make a show that families would watch together, and the key to that is not like having funny cartoon gags. The key to that is having feelings, and so we gave a lot of
We
feels
put the
in
feelings in
that.
there. Yeah.
Well, it seems like with Netflix seems to give the writers a little bit more rope when it comes to their shows that they do.
Mhm.
At least that's what I've noticed when with some of the stuff done.
I feel like this stuff it almost varies more from show to show than it does from studio to studio. But it's really hard to say because, like, you'll work at Disney and it'll be one way, and then you go and work somewhere else and it's different. And then you go back to Disney, but the person you were working for at Disney isn't there anymore. It's a person from the other place you were working. So now this is like that. And then you go back to the other place and it's like now the Disney person's working there. So the stuff is shuffling around constantly and you just never know. Like, I did shows for Disney a few years apart and it was a dramatically different experience. So I mean, I think Netflix in general has a reputation for allowing a little more freedom because just because it's not a broadcaster.
Right.
Right, and they have more room to play, I guess you could say.
Yes, for sure.
Um, which is a good thing, because that not only does it like it gives the you guys writers, it gives you guys more, room to run, if you will, and that's more bounds, and you don't have to worry about like jumping through hoops and uh trying to think of what I want to say. Less notes, if you will, we were just talking about earlier.
I mean, I think one of the great things on Maya was we had Megan Casey was our executive on that, and she does give a lot of notes,
But they're good
but they're
notes.
really good notes. Like she is brilliant. She really understands story. So it was
That's
good
good.
Hmm.
to work with someone who got what you were doing. But then, like on Tale Dark and Grim, I felt like we barely got notes, and that also worked really well. So it wasn't Megan; it was a different executive.
Oh, you mean
I mean from
we
Netflix.
got, yeah, we didn't get very many notes from Netflix.
We got a
I was
lot.
like, I'm sorry. What happened to your brain?
So no,
Um,
specifically from Netflix.
yes. But when you did Puss in Boots at DreamWorks, Netflix, this was before Netflix started producing their own shows, and you got hardly any notes at all from Netflix then.
The only note I got for the entire, what was it, like 76 episode series was don't fade out and back in at act breaks as if you're going to commercial.
Hmm.
That was it. They didn't even
Wow.
have an executive on the show giving notes. We got notes on, we did an interactive episode of it, and we got notes on that because we were like creating a new medium, basically,
Mhm.
like they had to have input on that.
And you got notes from the DreamWorks executive.
Yes, yeah, we
Yeah.
did have executives giving notes, but no one at Netflix on
Yeah.
that one.
Um, so back to the working together as well. Who's more likely to say this is a terrible idea? I was wondering about this earlier. I was like, I wonder when you guys are in the writing room together, like, no, we can't do that. Who's the first person to say this is a terrible
I
idea?
think it's me because Doug is more polite than I am.
Well, I think that you are more likely to notice that there's something deeply offensive about an idea.
Well, there's
Because I sometimes will just I will not like take that next mental step, and you'll be like, you realize that this kind of feels like you're saying that adults are idiots or something
right.
like that, and I'll be like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that I mean that's more just like I think you have more awareness than I do.
Well, that could be.
But I don't feel like you've ever said to anyone other than yourself or me, this is a terrible idea.
Right.
You're more diplomatic with writers than
I
that.
guess so. But I mean, you have a lot more experience than I do, so I often like defer to Doug because okay, you have more experience. I'm not, but there are times when I'm like, no, I'm gonna fight you on this one.
Mhm.
So
Do you guys have like a no work talk after a certain hour or any rule or anything like that?
uh, no, I mean we should, but
That's a good idea.
it's n- not a lot of work-life balance because storytelling is one of those things that you get so passionate about
Hmm.
it
For
and you do
sure.
it in every aspect of your life. So there's no spot outside your life where you're not telling stories.
No,
So
there's literally waking up in the middle of the night going, the reveal should be before the act break.
yeah,
Like that kind of thing
yeah.
happens. Um, Hopefully, when it happens, we actually don't scream it. We just write it down.
Mhm.
But I mean, yeah, it is always kind of your brain's always working on stuff, even when you don't think it is.
Right.
So thoughts will pop out of nowhere.
Mhm.
So you guys also started doing a like an online or was it the writers room, Doug and Candy's cartoon writers room. Is this like a workshop?
We've done one so
Hmm.
Hmm.
far. We did cheap, what was it, 1 month?
We did, yeah, we did
Yeah,
a
4 week.
week.
Hmm.
We're going to be starting another one in May. I want to say May 19th, but I'm not.
Do a 6 week one.
And yeah, it's going to be 6 week this
Um,
time.
yeah, we just thought it would be fun to help people get started, and
Hmm.
it was very rewarding, I
Yeah.
thought.
I mean, you get a lot of people like asking you to read scripts or asking for thoughts and comments and stuff, and it's just like,
Right.
you know,
Let's organize
people
this.
need this. Maybe we can do it in an organized way. And we kept the class small enough that we could give, individual notes on,
Hmm.
everything that they were writing, and it was fun.
It
I
was
think it
very
went really
fun.
well.
Hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, we are going to be doing that again. It's what's it called? The cartoon writers room with Doug and Candy.
Yes, and
Yeah.
we did it with our friend and fellow animation writer uh, Charlotte Wilson Langley, who did a lot of the organization and
Hmm.
behind the scenes stuff, and she's also present in class. She was
Yeah.
a staff writer on Hey AJ for the Disney
Oh wow.
Channel, and she
Hmm.
worked on Tail Dark and Grim with us, Samurai Rabbit, and so she's there with us.
Hmm.
What are some of the what are some of the favorite? What are your favorite projects that you have worked on? Like looking because you guys have had, like I said, I could sit here and spend the next half hour reading reading your credits and everything that you have done and accomplished, and I'm just curious what are some of your favorites that you had brought to
Um,
life?
I thought Samurai Rabbit was fun because I was a producer on Maya and the Three and stuff, but on Samurai Rabbit I was executive producer for the first time. So I got to be present for every single step of the process, and that was really fun for me. But also working with John Leguizamo is fun, and
Yeah.
working on his John Leguizamo Does America.
Oh yeah, okay,
uh,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was he's a really great guy, and that was
Yeah.
a fun experience. Both seasons, it was
Yeah.
super fun.
That's the one reality show we've done that we weren't technically writers on because you can't call them writers on a reality show. So we were consulting producers, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like that.
yeah.
Yeah. And also, I mean, he has a real strong point of view, and it is, I think, politically important. And
Hmm.
it sort of felt nice helping get these ideas of acceptance and inclusion and stuff out there.
For
So
sure.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Who's your favorite?
I mean, Dave the Barbarian was like, if I could go back and do a show, like Dave the Barbarian is the closest thing I've ever done to what I would probably write in my sleep.
Hmm.
Like it was just like we're not overthinking it. We're just doing a thing.
I that show was so fun, and like I said, and it really did. And I said it at the beginning, Mike. Dave the Barbarian had this animation style that was very, very similar to Rocky and Bullwinkle era, and like in modern time, and it was so well done, so fun, and it just it felt very nostalgic, even though it was new at the time. But it was definitely a very fun show.
That
Um,
was like what, '05, right?
Yeah,
When
four
that
or
came.
five, I think.
Something, yeah.
that
We
sounds
were.
about right because
Yeah.
I
that
remember that show.
that was the year Maddie was born.
Yeah, I
So
remember that show.
I
I'm
always think
sorry, I'm
of
not
the
really
thing.
like. I'm sorry that I'm not really uh talking too much. A, I've been up way too long.
oh,
And then B, like I just feel like I kind of jumped in a little bit, so
you're
like a little bit
fine,
late.
dude.
So I apologize. I think, like I said again earlier today. Oh man, it was just a kick in the pants. Well,
Yeah.
that's all. But one of the questions that I have, I don't know if you guys already talked about it or not, was like, what are some of like where you draw your uh inspirations from for your storytellings?
Boy, they just come from all over the
They really
place.
do. I
Yeah, our
mean,
show is really based on tangents. So, and we jump
Oh,
around a lot
that's
too.
theoretically that should be what our show should be, just called just
Lights, camera, pop, and
right.
ADHD.
Yeah.
Um, I I I pull what I need to out of my life for every show, but sometimes a practically fully formed idea will just land in your head.
Hmm.
So, um, I think it's important to have the kind of mind where you make connections between things, um, even in weird ways. Like Doug said earlier, this nickel has a scratch on it, so it
Hmm.
reminds me of outer space. There's just weird things, and I mean, that helps. It helps to have a weird mind, I
Yeah.
guess.
It helps to be comfortable with uh, like dichotomies
Hmm.
as well. I mean, I think it helps to be comfortable not knowing yet exactly what the thing is. Like you've
Right.
got various ideas in your mind and they're kind of circulating around.
Be okay with the unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be okay with the unresolved.
But you got weekenders just from your daily life in San
Yeah.
Diego.
Just talking about stuff.
You got Dave the Barbarian because you're cuckoo, and they come
But
from
I
all
mean,
over.
Dave was literally like, I know the kind of show I want to do. What's a genre that hasn't been run into the ground yet? And I was like, ugh, everything's superheroes, and there's been a lot of detective stuff, and there's been, I don't know, I feel like we haven't done swords and sorcery that
So you
much.
started from the tone and worked your way
Yeah,
out from there.
yeah.
I grew up in a doomsday cult,
Oh,
and
Sudden turn.
yeah, when I was like 6, my parents accidentally left me behind during a bomb threat at the convention center in downtown Portland. And I thought the rapture had happened and I had been left behind.
oh my goodness.
So it hit me, oh, what if the rapture did happen and I was left behind? What would I have done? So I wrote a feature script about that called Lulu versus the End of the World. And where a little girl fights the four horsemen of the apocalypse from the back of her pony.
Oh
And
my God, that's phenomenal.
that's being passed around town right now. And so it's just you pull stuff out of your life and make a metaphor out of it, I guess is the answer.
But that, I mean, that script is bananas because it's a crazy, amazing script. And if you told people that the first like 10 pages of that is basically documentary, they would be like, what? Are you kidding? Uh, it's
Wow,
nuts. Yeah.
that is phenomenal.
Childhood trauma can really take you places.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I can imagine.
That
Yeah, I
is
can.
that's a driving force for a lot of us.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Yeah, not a lot of, I don't know. People who have super happy, well-adjusted childhoods that don't tend to grow up to be people who make up crazy stories in their head
That's true.
and then think it's a good idea to say them out loud.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm just that's I can't wait to. I hope that this makes it out. Like
I
I'd
have
really
a
like to
feeling
check
it
that
will
out.
never get made. Yeah.
Hey, you'd be surprised. Well, would you though?
Okay, if well, let's think about it. I mean, like this has a pretty good shot. If they could make Buckaroo Banzai, I'm
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love Buckaroo Banzai.
me
Oh
too. I mean,
my
like it's a
goodness.
phenomenal movie. But if they can make Buckaroo Banzai, I could see
That's
this one
true.
being made.
Yeah.
I just saw a list on YouTube of like movies that bombed in the 80s that are, need reevaluation now. And I watched it and I was like, this is all my favorite movies from the 80s. I thought these were big hits.
Right?
Yeah,
I
Buckaroo Banzai was one of them. Yeah, it was like Repo Man. I was like, were these movies not successful? Because I watched them over and
oh
over
my
again.
gosh, yeah.
Repo Man's phenomenal. Not only is Repo
Yeah,
Man great, but also Repo Man has one of the greatest soundtracks in human history.
it's got the
But
circle jerks in it. So
exactly right, Black Flag. But like,
one of the
but
best moments in the movie is the circle jerks are doing their lounge act, and he's like, I can't believe I used to like these
like this.
guys.
Oh my gosh.
They've sold out.
Mm.
Oh man, fantastic. Yeah, you're right. That list is hysterical. I think that I may not have seen the exact same one,
Mhm.
but I've seen a couple of these lists where they talk about that, like Better Off Dead's on it. And I'm like, how could you not like Better Off Dead?
I
That
just
movie,
watched it over and over.
Yeah.
Better
oh
Off
my
love
God.
that movie.
One Crazy Summer is like another one. It's
Yeah.
It's
It's
very
great.
underrated. A lot of people don't like forgot about it or just never seen it.
Mhm.
right. Yeah. Sorry about that. But
No,
go
no,
ahead,
no.
Rich.
That's
You can say something.
no, no. I was agreeing with you. Repo Man, Buckaroo Banzai, all movies that I had grown up watching, and like Doug said, I thought they were like big hits,
Yeah.
and then you look back now when you, of course, when being that being what we do, and you kind of start to learn like how the box office numbers and stuff like that works, and it's just like, oh wow, it really didn't do all that well,
Yeah.
but it's
And then,
it's just mind-blowing.
then again, let's face it, like more than most likely, the four of us are kind of off kilter to begin with.
Yeah.
So we're gonna look at those movies and be like, those are some of the greatest films of all time. And then you're just like,
Absolute
then
cinema.
everyone else is just like, no, those were pretty bad movies. Like, did you watch the same movie that I did? Like, are you crazy? Yeah, but we're looking at it as, I guess you can say, a little left than center. So, and
For
that kind of
sure.
gives us a little bit more clarity when it comes to how we focus on it and how it presents itself to us rather than a lot of the other people in the
Sure.
main masses.
I do think that most of the movies that are the most meaningful to us personally are not necessarily great movies.
Well, we were talking about that
Hmm.
earlier, is the stuff we love the most is not perfect.
Yeah.
Sure.
You can recognize, oh, yes, that is a perfectly executed script. That's great. But it's how it touches you in the heart that
Yeah.
is important. And maybe that's not the most perfect thing, you
It's
know?
like Godfather is a great movie, but let's talk about Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. That movie looms larger in my head than The Godfather
Yeah.
I
does.
agreed.
Yeah. Drop dead gorgeous.
Yeah. We were talking about
It's
this
my
the other day,
daughter's
like,
favorite movie, Drop
Yeah.
oh
Dead
yeah,
Gorgeous. That is my daughter's
that's great.
favorite movie.
Yeah.
I had it on DVD and she saw it because we just recently moved and she was just like, "Oh my God, Dad, you have this on DVD?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm taking it." I was just like, "All right, it's yours."
Excuse me.
That's one of those. I was we watched it recently, and I looked up some of the reviews from when it came out, and people hated that movie. I was
Yeah.
flabbergasted.
Yeah.
They were like, "This is boring and dumb and not funny," and I was like, "You people are
Yeah.
idiots. What the?"
That movie's
Have you
amazing.
seen the movie Bottoms by any chance?
Bottoms.
Oh no,
Yes.
we haven't, but we have heard good
Which
things
one is
about it.
that? I'm bad with names.
It's the it's the two girls they're in like high school.
Yes.
And I feel like
It,
Oh,
we put it on our list and we haven't
yeah, we
watched it
haven't
yet.
gotten to that yet. Is it
oh,
good?
He keeps telling me to
yes.
watch it. I have not had a chance to yet.
Like it's my daughter's like, "You, Dad, you have to watch this movie." And I was like, "All right, let's watch it." So we put it on, and I think on a scale of 1 to 10, it's an 11. I
Okay.
love it. I die laughing from the beginning to the end.
Okay.
It is it's very like a modern day version of how like the 80s films were shot and written. So it's like an updated version of like a Better Off Dead type of deal. Um, so if you like that type of movies and that type of wittiness and the bite to it, it's fantastic. It's oh my God. The whole thing that the way they make fun of the jocks in the movie is just phenomenal. There's a part there's a scene in it. I'm not going to go into great detail. I'm sorry, but there's a scene in when they go to the lunchroom and all the jocks and they're all seated like the Last Supper
Mhm.
and the what's it called, the quarterback's in the middle like Jesus and everyone else is like all around him fawning him
Oh
and
my
then they
God.
have a painting of the of the quarterback in the football team in the back, like the 16 Chapel. It is
Oh my
amazing.
God.
And that's just one little sliver. The whole movie from the beginning to end is just fantastic. You will love it, guys. Seriously, you will love it. I can't push this movie enough. I push it like crack. It's fantastic.
It's definitely on our list. I don't know how we've skipped over that one.
Okay, well, we will definitely get to
Yeah.
that.
So what's ahead for you guys? What are you looking to do in the future? You got any projects on the horizon without spoiling anything?
Um, we have a few things in development,
We
but
have, yeah, I mean, literally nothing we can talk about.
yeah,
That's
It's
fair.
all
yeah.
We get it.
non-disclosure agreements, but
But I mean, we would love. We have a few of our own personal projects that we would
mhm.
love to get the opportunity to do, such
Yeah,
as Lulu,
yeah,
and we have uh,
dingbats.
Dingbats, which
Hmm.
is about a group of. It's a small apartment building in LA, and everyone in there works in the entertainment industry, but kind of grunt jobs.
Okay.
So not the famous people, but
Hmm.
the people doing behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah,
And
See, I love that.
The people that actually work the magic, basically.
right,
yeah,
right. And then, of course, it would be fun to get to do something like David the Barbarian, where I got to work on it too. That would be
yes,
the dream.
that would be the dream. We've pitched a couple of things that are sort of like that, but
Yeah,
so far haven't moved
yeah.
forward.
The last few years have been a little rough in the industry.
Yeah, it's been weird.
So,
How is the pitch process? How does that operate anymore? Like, is it
I feel like there's not any one way.
yeah.
It's like, I mean, famously, it's in the news a lot. Like more and more stuff is just getting made by someone put something on YouTube. But for a while, it was like, oh, you'd put something on YouTube and hope that Netflix wanted to make it or something. And now it's like, just keep making it for YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
Like people are doing stuff that they don't need
There's more
studio
power
approval
for
for.
themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So that's been a change. And I mean, I started doing a comic strip a couple of weeks ago, in
They're
part
so good.
because it's like you just got to do something where there's no one gatekeeping it,
right.
you know?
And there's no notes.
Yeah,
You have to have those kinds of projects for yourself,
yeah,
like painting.
yes, exactly.
Like I said, the comic strips that you've been putting out, Doug, Candy, the paintings, everything that I see, I'm always hitting that like button, the share button. It just
Hmm.
Thank
it
you.
always looks so good, so fun to watch and read. Um, this I keep going back to some of like the writing that you do is just it makes me laugh because and I always go back to the Weekenders. I really do. And I told Mike this scene. It was in the Halloween episode. And I don't think anybody else could have ever come up with this line. And Carver is in there in the bathroom with Lore. And he's talking about a teacher. And she says, did you find her? And he said, no, she's dressed up like a contact lens and she fell on the floor and now nobody can find her.
Oh,
And I just crack up laughing at that every time because it was just so intelligently written that I don't think anybody could have been that creative to come up with something that funny and subtle.
I had forgotten that completely. I wonder who wrote that because
wasn't you? That sounds like a Doug
I mean, it
joke.
does sound like a me joke, but it also could easily have been. I mean, we had a lot of great writers on that show.
Mhm.
Peter Gaffney was one of the writers on that,
Oh,
and
we had coffee with him the other day.
David Work and Amy
Hmm.
Di Bartolomeo. It sounds like something they might have written.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, one thing I'm noticing is when you have a group of writers in the writers' room together, anytime somebody makes a really funny joke, everyone remembers that that was their joke. It's just like you have such a connection to it that it's like, Oh yeah, I wrote that obviously, and then but everyone thinks that, and
Hmm.
it's just the way your mind works. You get that dopamine hit, and you think it's
It
yours.
There are
that
so many
reminds me.
jokes. Like,
That comment reminds me of the Friends episode with the Playboy joke that Chandler and Ross kept arguing about who wrote,
mhm.
Mm.
and Ross had submitted it to Playboy, and then he told the joke, and Chandler's like, "Oh yeah, it was funny when I said it," and then it just the whole episode was based around that of who actually wrote the joke.
Yeah.
But that's so funny, and I can only imagine what a writer's room would look like. Just everybody, I can't imagine. I just, I don't want to say I picture like a party, but I just really picture like just a group of guys, a group of women, just all sitting around, just enjoying each other's company, and then the ideas just start flowing. Now,
Riffing.
is
Our
that somewhat
dogs.
accurate or no?
Um, it's we did a writer's room, I think in December that it was it's Sony, it was like a
Yeah.
group of strangers.
Oh,
And so it can be a little weird when you go in because it's
Hmm.
like, you kind of have to test the waters and see who's going to break the ice and when can you start getting inappropriate, that kind of thing. But when you go in and it's a group of friends and
Hmm.
people you've worked with a lot and stuff, it gets nuts pretty fast. It's really fun. Like when you're a kid and you're playing a pretend game and you're like negotiating the the parameters of the world you're in.
Hmm.
It
mm-hmm.
feels like that. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's like, okay, you're gonna be the cop and I'm the cowboy, and it's just it's that kind of feeling.
I like when you go into a writer's room and there's always the one person who's the loudest. You go and you're like, I wonder who's gonna be the big mouth at this one.
It's
And then this has happened to me multiple times where I've come out of the writer's room going, there wasn't really one this time, and it's like, it was you. Oh, of course it was me.
yeah.
I was on jury duty once, and I think I kept treating it like it was a writer's room, and like
Oh,
they had to eventually tell me to shut up, basically. I mean, like someone was like, "You're talking so much, no one else is getting to give their opinion." I
oh
did. I
wow.
kind of bullied everyone into agreeing with me.
But
Oh, well.
but it's funny because like in just everyday conversation and where you're kind of a shy introverted
I
person.
am. Yeah,
So
I do.
but you get into that environment and
I
you
get
let
weird.
loose.
Yeah, I get weirdly impassioned about story
Hmm.
stuff.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know
Eyes
what
get
that is.
teary.
This is one thing so for years I told people that I had allergies because I would be in story meetings and when I think of a story point that really works for me, I will start crying. Like I not like sobbing, but like tears will start flowing. So I was constantly having to go, oh, it's my allergies because I was embarrassed to say, I
I'm
think
crying.
this story turn is really beautiful.
I don't think there's any shame in that at all.
They're
I
none.
absolutely love that.
Well, it's out in the world now, so
Yeah, now everyone knows. It's hard when you're the boss to be like blubbering in meetings.
Well, guys, as we're winding down, I want to thank you again for coming on, joining us today. Like this has been one of the episodes that like I will truly look back and say like that was one of my favorite episodes to talk with you guys. Um, and where can everybody find you at?
I just want to say thank you,
Yes.
and we will come back anytime. We love.
Oh, you have an anytime invitation.
Oh, be
You can
careful.
even co-host if you want,
We will show up
because
at your door.
apparently I'm late. So
Well, we're getting our website back up. Doug and Candy. Candy is Candie, and it's my real name. It's not Candace, as opposed to what is out there on the internet. Um, and then our Instagram is Doug and Candie Langdale with the underscores, and our podcast, Cartoon Insiders, is on every platform.
Yeah.
And
That's right. I forgot you
yeah,
guys did a podcast.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've taken a little hiatus, but we're going to be getting back to it soon with our guest Charlotte. So,
Yes. Who
Charlotte
Oh,
Wilson.
fantastic.
I teach the
Yes,
class with.
yes.
The class is called the Cartoon Writers Room with Doug and Candy, and my comic strip is called That Perfidious Embrace
Okay.
for some reason.
All right.
I
So
think,
we're out there.
yeah,
And whenever, of course, whenever the Cartoon Writers Room, the enrollment comes up, when I see it, if you guys want, you can send me the link, and I will
sure.
share it out there and get it out on the page and on the interwebs as well. As you guys, of course, you have a much bigger audience than we do, but we will.
Yeah,
We're working on
we'll
that.
push it as far as we can.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
It really
Yeah,
means a lot.
it does.
Uh, on that note, everybody, thank you so much for getting your geek on with us. Mike, where can everybody find you at?
Punk Rock Mike on the Instawebs. You can also find me at nomad_comics on Instagram as well as TikTok. I actually don't have any shows coming up right now. So just find me on Instagram.
And you guys can also email us at lightscamerapoppod@outlook.com. And on that
Weird
note,
Al,
Weird Al for
Weird Al football.
2027. Weird Al 2027 halftime. We missed that last week when
I
we did
know.
our show with Joe. So, yeah, Weird Al for Super Bowl halftime 2027. On that, have a good week, everybody, and take care, and we'll see you real soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Goodbye.